Converting paths and selections in Photoshop. We can convert a selection into a path. So if you're not so fond of the pen tools, utilizing a pen tool to do some tracing, you can use any of your selection techniques that you are comfortable with. So that could include utilizing the quick selection tool. It could be the magic wand tool. It could be any of the lasso tools, including the magnetic lasso, whatever you feel most comfortable selecting with. I'm going to go ahead to use that quick selection tool. And let's select the butterfly layer here and see what we can get when we drag. What kind of a marquee selection can we achieve here? Now that one went pretty well. And again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time to make this perfect. If this was a real assignment that I was working on, I would zoom very, very close into the edges here to make sure that this was absolutely perfect. And I would get rid of the areas here. I would zoom in tremendously to get the antenna here. But we're going to go with this. I see a little bit here. Remember, I can always go with my lasso, hold down the shift key to add to a selection, and I could add a little bit to it. And so by just doing a hand drag to kind of trace around to get some of that area. Okay, so if this is the selection that I like, now I can do a couple things here. I can go to my paths panel, and these are the old ones that I've been playing with previously. Down at the bottom here, there's an icon, Make Work Path from Selection. When I click it, here it is. This is my new work path. And so now if I name it, we'll call this Butterfly 2, because it's the second one I did. Remember, this one was done previously in a different lesson. This is the selection that has now been turned into a path. So I can make work path from selection here. Now to convert a path into a selection, I can select this path. So let's go ahead and deselect here. Remember, if I save this, and by clicking out here, I turn off that path. So if I save this right now, these two paths will save with my file. So if I say I did my selection, saved the paths, closed my document, opened it, and the next day, I could go back here and I can select my path that I want to have be an active selection. And at the bottom here, there's a load path. The third one in, load path as selection. Click on it, and now there's my selection. Okay, I'm going to do a Control D or Command D to deselect for a moment. Another way that I can do this is to Alt click on my Alt or Option click on the thumbnail here, and you can see I can get my actual path with my anchors selected, so you can go ahead and do some tweaks and alterations. And if I Command or Control click on the thumbnail of my paths in my paths panel, I get a selection. So Control click to make that be selected, Alt click or Option click to see my anchor points, and again we have the two icons down here to either save my selection as a path or to load the path as a selection. Just experimentation here on how to convert paths into selections and selections into paths, but just know that that's a way that you can save a selection and you can go back and do some tweaking and editing later.